Didn't see you come in. So I guess by seeing the title of this video, you were wondering how to run a game night. Well, a VR game night would be really fun. It's super cost prohibitive because of, well, the headsets are so expensive, and also there's the added thing of if all your friends are running around on headsets, they're probably not going to see each other and end up breaking your furniture. So we're going to set that aside. We're not going to do that at all. So what could we do? Oh, I know, a board game night. So that should be super easy. Just get your friends around, get a good location in your house, nice table, some chairs, get some snacks, and then we just gotta choose a board game or two. So that shouldn't be too hard. There's only like so many board games, right? So we just gotta pick some. Oh wow. What about if we just? Oh geez, there's a lot over there too. What about something a little bit with like miniatures and, oh geez, that's a lot of boxes. What if we, that's just like a mountain of stuff over there. Well, anyways, I guess then with so many board games, we might have to start from square one. So, sit back, relax, and let's go into how exactly you can go about running a pretty successful board game night. Let's be honest, there are way too many board games in the world to be able to play them all at your board game night. So you have to figure out what your players are interested in. If they're more into a cooperative experience, maybe something like Pandemic Cthulhu could work. But if they're more into something competitive, maybe something like King of Tokyo or Munch can work. Also, recognize how many players you have at your game. If it's a board game night with only you and your significant other or best friend, then Twilight Struggle would work. However, if you have any more than 2 people, Twilight Struggle is a board game that doesn't work. But anyways, what you need to know is exactly how many players you have and what they're interested in. But now, let's get into food. Now, when it comes to food at your game night, it really makes or breaks it. If you're hungry about 2 hours in, you aren't going to be able to concentrate at all, and people are going to start wanting to go home and eat. So that's why it's important to bring snacks and drinks. You can get the other people to bring them for you, but if you have to get them, some people enjoy, well, cans of soda, but other people enjoy bottles of water. You might also want to have some options that are healthy and unhealthy when it comes to food. You might want to have some sort of chips, Doritos and the such, but you might want to have veggies and hummus. But one thing is important. If your friend's Christian and keeps putting chips in the fridge, you just gotta yell at him, "Christian, why do you keep doing this?" Now, generally, you're gonna wanna pick a location in your house or somewhere to run your board game night. It could be a local game store, but most board game nights I find tend to be at someone's house. So generally, you're gonna want some kind of table or play area. You could throw a cover over a billiards table or something to that extent. But the thing is generally a board game night will have somewhere between 4 to 6 people, I find. So you're gonna want a table that, while this one's nice and sits for at dinner, that isn't going to be enough space when it comes to, having your board games and your food on the table if you're one of those groups that does that. So generally, you're gonna wanna aim for something a little bit bigger. I find aiming for a table that can sit about 2 to a side is ideal, and that's why I have this table in my basement. As you can see, it seats somewhere between 4 to 6 people, depending on how many sit to a side, and it also has enough space for everybody to have books, have food, and even have anything required for running a game. Though right now it's set up for Dungeons and Dragons, that doesn't mean that you can't just take everything down and use that exact same space for board games. But lastly, on the topic of something like Dungeons & Dragons, tabletop RPGs are generally not always the best option for a board game night. I would generally suggest that if you do want to run an RPG, try to make it something a bit smaller and easier to get into, or where character generation is super quick. So instead of playing something like Call of Cthulhu, maybe play something like Purgatory House. Or instead of something like Death Watch, maybe try 316 Carnage Amongst the Stars. It's the same sort of feeling when you play, but it's a lot quicker to get into. And on a board game night, you're trying to play as many board games and stuff as you want within just a couple hours. So with that in mind, I hope this all helped you out, and I hope to hear down in the comments about everybody enjoying their board game nights. Take care.